Dumb Guy Live. Murph threw something right away. That was pretty cool.
It's time.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's time. It's time for Dumb Guy Live. Everybody, how's it going, guys?
Let's ride. Let's ride.
Yeah.
Let's go.
How's it
Episode number
going?
7.
We're here.
Number 7.
What's going on? We're winding down. We're winding down the year here. Not really a whole lot going on in Japanese pro wrestling. You know how it is. It's a little bit of the off season. Tag league, taking some time off, right?
Little break.
Congratulations to Alexia for being the 6th in line. Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you, Lexi.
And we got a pound. We got a pound 79. We got a quid 79.
79.
The only
Lewis.
pro ableism. It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
Lewis.
that's right.
I was gonna say something I'm not going to, but
Go on, say it, Murph.
no.
Murph looks like a coach. Coach Murph. I wonder if Monty's going to tweet out that this is happening.
No, he only does that for the other ones.
It's okay. It's all right. We'll just do our own thing over here, you guys.
Trying to hold these white men down.
It's okay. It's true. It's true. But I call that reparations. So I think it's fine. Okay. We're going to talk about a couple things today. I want to talk about Stardom first. I want to talk about that first because they've got their biggest show of the year, or one of their biggest shows of the year. I would say. Would you say it's their biggest?
I would say so. Although there's been some backlash to the card reveal.
I know, and we'll get into that. But I would say it's this or what is yearly become the first week in March show. It's hard to pick. Hard to pick between those two. But and then maybe the 5-star finals. That's always a big time show because they stack it with. It's not like New Japan where they stack the G1 final, or they just have it's just the finals and there's no other interesting matches on it. But yeah, we're gonna talk Stardom, and we are going to talk about this final show. So, Jamie, the full card is out. Am I wrong, or is it?
It is indeed. It is indeed. Right. I'm looking at it right now.
So let's go reverse order. Let's go main event first, and then we'll just sort of run it down and talk about how we're feeling.
Okay, so the main event is the one that we've known pretty much was going to happen for quite a while now. We've got Shuri defending the the World of Stardom Championship, mixed up my belts, against Julia, former tag team partner and this year's 5-star Grand Prix winner. I've said this for a while. Since Shuri won that belt, I think it's been pretty obvious that Julia is likely going to be the one to take it off her. So I think this is going to be the final match of Shuri's really incredible reign. Talked about it before on the pod how she's had a great year. It should be a great match. I'm looking forward to this for a long time.
Yeah, we'll do sort of an explicit actual preview for it in a couple weeks. We'll go over our essentially the Stardom kind of kicks it off, the New Year's festivities here. I guess we have Final Gate a couple days before that, but aside from that, Stardom kind of kicks it off, and we're going to go over because it's such an exciting week in Japanese pro wrestling with obviously Wrestle Kingdom, but also
we're gonna have
All Japan. Yeah, All Japan, Noah, TJPW, DDT, all run Korakuen shows. BJW even usually runs one in there. So they
do one with DDT, the tag scramble.
Well, yeah, that's always New Year's Eve, right? Yeah. So that's always a good time. Ice Ribbon, of course, Ribbon Mania. Asahi is challenging for the Ice Cross Infinity Championship. But yeah, we will explicitly go over. We'll go over the card. But in the meantime, we know what's happening in that Julia Shuri match. We've known that for a month now, right? Big news though in the Wonder of Stardom match. Who will Saya Kamitani be defending with? A lot of people thought she was going to lose her championship at this pay-per-view before hearing the opponent. So who's it going to be?
So it's going to be Haruka Umesaki, who has been quite prominently featuring on these New Blood shows, although under an alter ego as Karma. I don't think she'll be Karma for this show unless I've missed anything. It'll just be
it's pretty clearly going to be Umesaki, yeah.
But yeah, from everything, I've not seen a ton of her work outside of Stardom as of yet, but like from everything I've seen so far, she's been maybe the most impressive of the external wrestlers they've had in. But this is the first of a match, first match that we've run down on this card of this problem that people seem to have with this card, which is there's a lot of external wrestlers on this big final show. There's been a lot of complaints of like, this meant to be the big show, and you've got a lot of the top stars throughout the year lower down on the card, whereas you've got like, Haruka Umasaki, who is, the match will be great, but that people would argue that position's more deserving for, I don't know, say Hazuki or someone like that, someone who's been, throughout the year. But besides that, I think the match will be really good. I think I would expect Kamatani to retain unless they're signing Umasaki, which I don't think they are yet. But yeah, that should be one that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm very much interested in this. This challenge, it kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? Right?
There's a few matches like this on the card.
Yeah. So it's weird because I feel like for the most part, big Japanese wrestling companies always do a good job of culminating stories at their big shows, and the card just kind of settles into place in a way that makes pretty good sense, right? Like Wrestle Kingdom, everything there's never just some random thing thrown onto Wrestle Kingdom where you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. That's not how it works, right?
Cody versus Juice Robinson.
But that wasn't random. That was a U.S. title match that made sense. They had
No,
that.
no. I meant 2017. That's my bad.
Oh, okay, I got you. Good call. But anyway, hang on. Heart Editing, who does great work for us. Thank you, Heart Editing. Shuri versus Julia is going to slap. I think they'll hear the criticisms for their last match, and it'll be even better. What in their last match? Does he mean the one from earlier in the year, like the world of Stardom match from earlier? Because I thought that match was fantastic. I don't really recall. Here, I'm going to leave that up there for a sec. I don't really recall many criticisms. Maybe I could be missing something, but I loved that match. I think that was maybe Shuri's best defense of it. Maybe the Utami one, but I thought that Julia match was great. However, if you'll recall, they did the it was the Wonder of Stardom and SWA championship match. Were you a fan at this point when they did that in late 2020, Jamie, when they had a like unification match that went to a 30-minute draw?
Yeah.
Now, I personally, I did not think that match was like that good at all. I thought it was quite boring for the most part. It was like in front of silence. It was late 2020, of course. It was in front of like cavernous silence, and so I did not enjoy that match. However, I just think they're like both like miles ahead of where they were 2 years ago. Right now, this is easily the biggest title match that Stardom can put on. So I think that's an interesting perspective. Hard Editing, thank you. Anyway, the Umasaki. I'm a big fan of Umasaki. I think she's really, really good. She's
from what I've seen. I've been very impressed. I've seen like 3 matches.
Yeah,
I've been wowed.
She's super young. She's like Starlight Kid's age. She's wrestles regularly in Diana. That's her home promotion. Diana's like super obscure. It's like maybe like the 9th or 10th biggest Joshi promotion out there right now. It's really small. It's run by, who's it run by? Some legend who I'm not remembering right now. But in any case, like she has a tag team with Miyuki Takase. A lot of people know. It is. Yeah. Good memory, Murph. And
I don't know how I got that.
The tag team of Luminous, they're really good. They put on some really good indie tag matches in Joshi. But yeah, I mean, Umasaki, I think the match should be great. I have yet to see Umasaki in a big time singles match like this. Like, because she's so young, she's kind of been hidden in tag matches. She was in Catch the Wave this year. She had some good matches in there. Did you watch Catch the Wave at all, Jamie, this year?
I saw a few matches that got recommended, but I didn't watch the full tournament. No.
I missed the Wave.
So she did pretty well in there. I think she has a lot of potential, but this is a big, it's a big jump to be the Wonder of Stardom title match at one of the biggest Joshi shows of the year, right? So big test for her, but this also feels like she's got to be signed, right? Like if you're
She
gonna
feels
put
like
her in this
Tomaka
position,
and Naba, like in that,
yeah,
he's gonna be signed
she's
soon, like
exactly. And I personally, if they wanted to, because the only thing, because I think the match should be great. The only reason I kind of would push back against it is um, I'm kind of ready for someone else to be Wonder of Stardom champion. Like I'm a huge Saya Kamitani fan, but but it's just time. She's wrestled like everybody,
Yeah.
right?
Who would you have? So say this match wasn't made. Who do you think out of that roster would be the ideal
I was thinking
challenger here?
ever since she retained against Kyrie, I was thinking it had to be Starlight Kid who won this title. But maybe they're thinking it's too soon to go back to that. But I don't know. I just feel like it's time. But I'm not. I actually, I'm pretty conventional when it comes to my wrestling opinions. One of my thoughts overall in wrestling is that I think long title reigns are like super overrated. If they're like warranted, like of course Okada's incredible 2-year reign is a warranted title reign, right? Because he was putting on incredible matches. It built up his aura and mystique as like the guy in Japanese professional wrestling, right? He beat all these guys. He was carrying people like Fale to awesome matches. It made sense. But for your secondary championship, and I know they do a lot for the Wonder of Stardom champion, at the same time that your world champion has also held the belt for exactly as long, like I'm looking forward to finally getting Stardom pay-per-views, because they have them every 2-3 weeks now, that aren't semi-mained by Saya and main evented by Shuri. I'm ready to see something else. And that's kind of my big thing, is because it doesn't seem super likely. However, I do think it is more likely than people are giving it credit for that there is a title change here. Considering how high a lot of people are on Umasaki. She got that big striking entrance as Karma at New Blood.
That's like I'm a
It was
casual
Shima,
Stardom
right?
fan. When something catches my eye and like, I want to see that. Like that, like the star, like I just saw like star power there. I saw like just the charisma there. Right, I did check out that match, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So Umasaki definitely has the like the charisma and the presence, and now let's see if that translates to her normal persona. But I think that this honestly, Saya Kamitani, such a charismatic person. Like putting her in this match. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a good match. Like I feel pretty confident.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. It's just kind of it has finally started to feel a little bit stale for me. And I don't usually say that. So I think that has to mean
I just watched the defenses, and the defenses have all been good. So like I can't really complain.
Scarecrow puts on a good point. Like really outside of that top tier, that top tier of like Mayu and Julia and Shuri, Saya's beaten everyone on this roster for this title. So it's I'm just ready for someone else. I'm ready for someone else. I'm ready for more fresh matchups. All the yes, Israel, my nails are still painted pink. Thank you for asking. I had a child painted them for me, so I really appreciated that. I do not know how to remove nail polish. It's not
Get nail polish
something I know.
remover.
Thank you, Murph. I had not considered that, Murph. Thank you for the advice. I really appreciate that, bro. So I guess I'll just like pick at it for a while. That'll be fun. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I will serve. Thank you very much. Yeah. So those are the big top 2 matches. I mean, obviously a huge test for Umasaki. What else we got? One big time special singles match.
Oh yeah, so we'll get into that, right? So we've got Kyrie taking on Utami Hayashishita in what I don't believe is a IWGP women's title match.
No, I think it's just a special singles match. Yeah.
Although they did announce some sort of stipulation at the press conference today. something about wearing their old attire or something like that. The loser
Mm-hmm.
will have to wear like their debut attire. I don't know when that happens, but there's another thing thrown in there. But these are two of the best women's wrestlers in the world.
Oh, really quick, I'm going to cut you off, Jamie. I agree, Felipe, that this match was the best match in this year's Catch the Wave. Suzu was the MVP of that tournament. She was awesome in that tournament.
She's the best.
She won on an injury, which was unfortunate, but it was very much deserved. Like, if anybody in that tournament was going to win it, it deserved to be her. So that's a good point. And
She's
then briefly, she has. Thank you so much, 6-star. $10 super chat. Wrestle Purist is the most beast and based wrestling channel of all time. So to the White Boy Swag Division who understands the grind. Oh, shout out to the White Boy Swag Division who understands the grind set. I do understand the grind set. I wake up every morning and I stack this paper and I count this money. And I rise and grind and I keep my circle small because you never know who will betray you. And I don't know what else to say. What other like platitudes there are. Call my bitch the chupacabra because she's sucking on the goat. I guess I'll just go for that. Oh, thank you so much, 6-star. We love you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, let's get into this Kairi and Utami special singles match. What do you think, Jamie?
Well, the fact that it's non-title makes this very interesting. Although I'm not sure whether they'll have Kairi lose, given that she is the champion. But like we've mentioned before, Kairi being match for match, maybe one of the best women's wrestlers in the world this year. Maybe besides the
I don't think she's that anymore for me. But yeah, she's been awesome more often than not.
That alpha female match is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, that kind of lowered that for me a bit. But and then Utami's had a great year. She's kind of had a quieter year than last because obviously she had that dominant title reign. She's been doing a bit more character work, messing around with Tam Nakano, stuff like that. And then she's had a good tag league run with Saya Kamatani, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, it's two of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Putting on a match, I think it'll be incredible.
That's one of the matches that you go ahead, Murph. I'm sorry.
I say all the time that I think the best modern U.S. women's wrestler of all time is Charlotte. And there's a reason I like put U.S. in before then, because Kairi Hojo, now Kairi, I consider her the best modern women's wrestler to ever live, like in the last 30 years. So since AJW stuff.
Since AJW, we got you.
So like Kairi, and Utami is just I think she's the best there is right now. Like in Japan, I think that she's just tremendous. So I think that Syria and Julia, of course, is the main event, and that's a big match. But I think people are gonna buy this pay-per-view for Utami and Kairi, and I think Utami and Kairi will be the best match on the show, just because they're the two of the best wrestlers in the world, that's not going to be a best women's match of the year for me. That could be one of the best matches of the year. So I'm very excited for Utami and Kairi. Two like very striking, charismatic star presences. And I'm excited to see how that like faces off. That feels like a real special singles match. I'll just say that's a good one.
It's good.
Still undefeated, right, Kairi? You have to take a loss since returning to Japan. So.
Lewis is asking if we'd prefer 5 years in prison or 10 years in a coma.
10 years in a coma.
Bro, no. I'm not trying to lose 10 years of I would much rather do 5 years in prison.
Dude, prison be ass.
I could easily do it. My life is prison.
You hate kids?
That's just me on a day-to-day basis, bro. My life is pain.
Prison
easily. Yeah, prison easily. We're definitely prison.
I'm young.
I'm young too. Whatever, man. And then thank you so much, Custodian BPJ. Hey man, keep doing your. Hey fam, stopping by real quick, cleaning out Regal's locker. Man, that guy was messy, fish and chips all over. Anywho, keep killing it. Keep it clean. We will keep it clean. Thank you, Custodian BPJ. I'm sorry they made you clean out Regal's locker, but you're the custodian, so you're pretty good at it. All right. Hang in there. You're gonna get your run, bro. You're probably the next TNT champion. You're gonna be the one to beat Joe, most likely. So all right, so hang in there. All right. Okay.
And you'll have to clean out Joe's locker.
Yeah, true. Did you guys see who was spotted in the crowd at NXT tonight?
Vinny
I didn't
Marseglia.
know.
Yeah, Vinny Marcellia, Dutch,
Dutch.
Bill
Bill
Carr, and Casey Navarro, who's good. Hey, people in the chat who know who Casey Navarro is he good? Because I think he's really good, and Murph is being racist and says that he's not good.
How is it
man.
racist? How is it racist to say that Casey Navarro isn't good?
Okay, whatever you say, man. Anyway,
I literally said that, from MLW, Myron Reed is much better than Casey Navarro. How is that racist? I don't understand it. Myron Reed is a lot better than Casey Navarro.
Kiwi says that he's really good. That's right, Kiwi. Thank you. Myron Reed is also really good.
Myron Reed's a stud.
They're both better than Carmelo Hayes.
I agree. If Myron Reed got gear that didn't look stupid, Myron Reed would be the guy. But Myron Reed wears a catcher's chest protection.
Myron Reed in every shitter indie match does a jumping cutter to the floor.
That's always such a sick spot.
Yeah, for the love of the game. I saw it in person multiple times. It's incredible.
Myron should be with Trick Williams.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. We're on the same page. We're on the same page here. Welcome to the NXT cast, everybody. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got going on?
Going head to head with them.
We were gonna say, okay, let's talk about how about a tag title match, Jamie?
Yeah, so most recent Stardom pay-per-view had was the Tag League final. In that final, which we'll maybe talk about that show a little bit later if we fancy it. We had Aphrodite taking on 7-Up. We had which is Utami Hashita and Sai Kamatani versus Nanai Takahashi and Yu of the Neo Stardom Army. And yeah, 7-Up emerged victorious from this one to a bit of the Neo Stardom Army has it's had its fair share of backlash. We've talked about this before. I like them as a duo. Both really great wrestlers, and I thought the final itself was really good. I thought Yu was great. Yu, by the way, wrestled 3 times this in the one day.
Who, me?
Took a 4-hour. Yeah, you. Yeah. We do a little bit of comedy here,
Come on.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's take a step back. Comedy analysis here. Okay, so get this, everybody. I want everybody to listen up. Okay, so you know how when you're talking to somebody in the second person and you're addressing them, the pronoun you use is you, right? You know that, right? Okay, get this. So there's a wrestler in Japan, and her name is freaking Yu. Okay. So when when Jamie is when Jamie is I thought Yu was really good, and then Murph is like, me? Oh boy. Wow. That's a good one, Murph. That's a good one. All right, really quickly. Another super chat for the love of the game. 6. Six, we love you so much. 6, I hope school's going well. I hope you're excited for your break. Winter break's coming up soon. I assume classes end either this week or next week for you, so I hope you enjoy them. And then Dio Loki says Reed is beast and Casey is I. All right, I'll take that. Reed is a beast. I completely agree, Dio Loki. Awesome. Okay, and then I guess Lewis and Jamie did the you joke on Discord an hour before this started, so he's already been doing it. Yeah, we're the comedy cast here. So yeah, you thought the finals was good. I mean, on paper, you and Nanai Takahashi against Utami and Saya sounds pretty damn good to me. I was not able to watch it, but you thought it was really good, Jamie.
Yeah, and I was just saying before, Murph decided to be a joker. Um, you competed on a Sendai Girls card that was just like 4 hours before the Stardom show,
Wow.
and then got a 4 hour train. I can't remember exactly where each of them were. The Sendai show was in Osaka, I think. And yeah, she took a 4 hour train journey, and then wrestled in the tag league, and then wrestled again in the final. She picked up the victory for the team, but she got a big beach power bomb. Absolutely folded Sire in half. And, that's the Wonder of Stardom champion right there.
Mhm.
So yeah, I thought it was a great match. So those two now, Nanae Takahashi and you, will be taking on Meltier, Tam Nakano and Natsupoi for the Goddesses of Stardom titles.
Really
Meltier came
quickly,
out and did a little.
who took the pin in that match? It was Saya on
I
that
think it
beach
was
bomb.
Saya. Yeah.
Man, why didn't I feel like you could have had like you challenge or something like that? That could have been cool. Or
Yeah.
Nanai. I don't know. Anyway, go for it.
But yeah, Meltier came out, did a little song and dance. I had no idea what was going on in the moment, but apparently it's from Nanai's old idol group. I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, what are they like, those two? But this match apparently will be happening. So this is on the pay-per-view, but then they'll also be taking on each other like a day or two before on a separate card, which is for in a non-title match. So I'm not too sure, what the deal is there.
Hmm.
But yeah, but it should be a really great match. Outside of all the criticism of the Neo Stardom Army, like you said, they're two great wrestlers. So and Meltier have been one of my favorite tag teams this year. So yeah, should be great. I'm not sure whether we'll get a title change, just because I'm not sure how frequently the Neo Stardom Army are hanging around. But I wouldn't really mind either way, to be honest.
I gotta be honest, Jamie, I don't buy the Neo Stardom Army criticism at all. Like, I don't get
Mm.
it. I feel like people are afraid to say that they just don't really enjoy Nanai Takahashi for whatever reason, and or you. And like Murph's not afraid. Murph doesn't like Nanai Takahashi, and he's fine saying that.
I think she sucks and she's a politicker and a bat. I feel like if you're gonna be
Oh,
like
that can't
Keiji
be denied.
Muto, I feel like if you're gonna be like Keiji Muto, you have to be good. Like she's like Muto without being good. So like, what's the fucking point here? Like,
So I disagree. I think she's an absolutely fantastic wrestler. And I wish, like, I don't understand the criticism. Like, who Stardom all year has been about people not signed with the company. Like, prominence and
Mhm.
colors were like hugely.
you see all those people are like 20, and Nane Takahashi
Yeah,
is
that's
like
what
45.
I literally think it's like ageism or
It's not
like
ageism, but like you want young young people
but
push.
like Nanai Takahashi, she's like 39. It's like that's like not crazy.
That's
Like
like
I don't
that's like
understand.
Sting age in Japan on Joshi. Like that's
Yeah, but I'm saying that's stupid. Like you shouldn't like who cares?
you're
Like
not
about
gonna build your
conventions or
build your
whatever.
company around Nane
I don't give a
Takahashi.
shit about business, Mirth. I'm not Rossi. I'm a fan of good wrestling. That's why I watch Ice Ribbon and All Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't care about their business or bullshit like that. Like
No, you're not gonna
I
like. I don't. I'm not. Nene Takahashi's not gonna get better, and you're not gonna see like that growth. But like with Suzuki, if you give it to Suzu, like Suzu's like getting really really good, and she's like exciting and like a new like it's not it's. I get what you're saying, but I
you
think
just
that like
watched like a Masaki Mochizuki match
yeah, he
from
lost
today.
and he lost, and it was like his first shot in like 3 years. Nene
Well,
Takahashi's in
do you
fucking
think
championship matches every week.
but do you think but they're not I don't think they're going to win the tag titles. Do you, Jamie?
I don't think so.
No. So it's like, and it's a less important thing than the world championship. Like I don't know. I don't buy it. I really don't.
It's the
I don't
biggest
get
show
it.
of the year. You know,
I just wish people, and that's like this is the show you do, Nanai and you as your tag title challengers because they've been protected so well. They're built up as killers. They are Stardom's past. They both come with incredible legacies and pedigrees. Like Nanai has been the dominant force in Joshi Indies over the last decade plus, and Yu is a former world champion in multiple different promotions, including Tokyo Joshi Pro. So I don't know. I just it just feels dishonest to me.
I liked when Nanai came in and did the match with Momo, and I with Yoshiko going against Mayu, and I thought that's good business. Like good business, like for me as a fan, like that's like I enjoyed that, and like, and I feel like everything else has been like overkill. But that's just my opinion.
I don't know. And you would, and if you don't like Nandai Takahashi, which you don't, then that's a natural reaction. And that's obviously valid, right? But that's not what I'm getting from people. Like I'm seeing so many people that they're like afraid to just say that they don't think she's a good or entertaining wrestler, or like they're afraid to be honest and be like, you know what, she's not pretty. I'm not interested in watching her. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is true for some people, right?
The Lanza thing, I'm not gonna like talk about Joe Lanza's opinions here, but like he kind of got torched for something that I think a lot of people think they just didn't want to say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I have the full context of it. Like some people have said that he had said stuff, outside of that. But yeah, I'm kind of.
I mean, Lanza's a right wing nut, so like that's also another thing. But I think in that case, he just said a lot of things that people don't want to say.
Yeah, I just don't understand that. Like, there's so many people who refuse to say that. Like, they won't say that they don't like Nandai Takahashi or that they don't want you in the company or whoever, but they'll be so angry about Neo Stardom Army and the concept of it. When I mean, those two completely fucking wash Alpha Female as a wrestler, right?
Yeah,
and they're the ones who are actually getting pushed and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not like they're hogging like a main event spot. They're in like the 5th or 6th most important match on the card. You know what I mean? Like people
Then I
talking like some crazy
challenged
politics.
Then I challenged for the world title and lost. Like that's like a norm. That's like an understandable match. That's no different than like Risa Serra doing it. I don't know. It's true, Scarecrow. Nobody wants to be called the C word in the Joshi.
I like Risa Serra though.
Them are. And that's fine. Because you're being honest. You're like, I like Risa Serra. I don't like Nandai Takahashi. So that's fine. But people they try to use these weird reasons about how they're outsiders. It's like, what? That's what Stardom has been in 2022 is outsiders.
It's the story of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this tag title match. Those are kind of the 4 really big time matches on the show. Those are the 4 that are really sort of selling things. Jamie, what's some notable stuff on the undercard here?
Speaking of Risa Serra, she's going to be in the Artists of Stardom title match. So we have the defending champions, Oedo Tai, you got Starlight Kid, Momo Watanabe, and Saki Kashima will be defending against Prominence, which is Suzuki, Risa Serra, and I always forget the other woman's name.
Jamie, I'm going to cut you off real quick because I have to address this commenter. Okay. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Plenty of people in the Stardom roster look like Nanai, but don't have the baggage of boring generic veteran character she does. Okay, no. and then they're like, what they use to back it up is like, it's not like Saeed is a fashion model or Mirai. Bro, those 2 wrestlers, even though like they're well built, like they're athletes, absolutely they would not be on this company if they were not conventionally attractive. Okay, you can get people who are jacked like them, like dime a dozen. All right, and talented wrestlers. There are so many people on the indies who have a similar skill set as those 2 that are not signed, and I would argue it is purely because, or don't even get a start in the industry. You know what I'm saying? And it is purely because of their lack of like conventional.
It's all about selling to the perverts that line up outside and want to take a picture with the girl. If
you like polled the average person, they would say, "Oh my god, yeah, they're attractive. Like they're good-looking people." Okay, I would venture most people would not necessarily say that about Nandai Takahashi. Like, and the point is, like, I don't care because I'm not a freak, but the point is that that's what Stardom does. That's their business, and I just kind of wish people would be honest with themselves about it.
I implore everyone who likes Stardom and like enjoys Stardom. Vice did a documentary called The Wrestlers. It was like a couple years ago, and they did a Stardom episode where they like talked to Rossi and they talked to the girls around. I think Tony Storm was in at the time. you know, and they were basically saying like, yeah, we need to be pretty because if we don't sell autographs, then why do they need us? You know, that's Stardom's business
It's
model.
so clearly built into the business model. Okay, in SWG, this comment is fine. She has boring matches and a boring character.
I
That is
agree.
That is a completely valid perspective. If you do not get any enjoyment out of her wrestling, that is completely fair. All right, there are some wrestlers that I do not care about one bit. Mariah is one of them. I get very little enjoyment out of watching Mariah wrestle. Okay, but at least you're honest about it. My problem, SWG, is that there are so many people I feel like in the Joshi fan base who are not honest with themselves about
No,
why they dislike certain wrestlers versus why they're fine with some. And a lot of it has
agree,
to do with age, and a lot of it has to do with physical attractiveness. All right, I don't
agree.
want to talk about this anymore. Let's move on to the trios title match.
So that prominence team was Suzuki, Risa Sera, and Hiragi Kurumi. I forgot who the third person was. I have to check. But yeah, so that'll be in a hardcore match, I believe, for the trios title. Yeah, this should be another really fun match.
Super looking forward to that one.
Prominence of being popping up on Stardom shows all throughout the year. And yeah, Suzuki's had a hell of a year, all over the place. You know, we talked about her in Wave. But yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see a title change here, just because prominence they appear quite frequently on these cards. You know, frequently
Mhm.
enough to like defend the reign every now and again.
What's the trio?
It's so it's Starlight Kid, Momo Watanabe, and Saki Kashima versus Suzuki, Risa Sera, and Hiragi Kurumi.
That's a good
I
trio
tend to
right there.
think that Kurumi's inclusion makes me think that she might be taking the
She's
pin
taking the
here.
pin. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was thinking that right the way.
Yeah, she may be getting rolled up by Saki in this one.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean this is a super fun matchup, and I love that it's hardcore. Like this is one of the shows where you want to have a stip match at some point, right? Um, Prominence have done such a good job with them so far. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Getting more Suzu and Starlight Kid interactions, getting more Risa Sera and Momo Watanabe interactions. And I'm a big fan of Hiragi Kurumi. I thought she was really coming into her own right before she left Ice Ribbon and subsequently was injured for a really long time. So I'm glad she's back. All right. We also have a high speed title match, which is fun. Again, another outsider.
We do indeed. So Azumi has been reigning as the high speed champion for quite a few months now. She'll be defending against Colors and Cosmic Angels, Hikari Shimizu.
The
Um,
little boss.
I was surprised to see her not included in the tag league. I thought maybe her and Saki would have been
I would
a
have
team
loved to
they'd have thrown into
see,
the mix.
yeah, to see Colors in there.
Yeah,
I
but
like
Galaxy
yeah,
that.
Punch.
they threw Saki with Mina, and then she got injured, so they put her with Waka, and then that was the end of that team. But yeah, should be another really great match. I'm a big fan of Azumi. Um, you know, she's like considered like a veteran at like what is
I
she now?
know.
It's 19, 20
She's like one of the
during all.
five longest tenured people on the roster, and she was born in
She does that
2003.
style better than anyone else. Her and
Mm,
Natsupoi do that style better than anyone else in the company, and I'm very
Mhm.
happy that they continue to have people doing that company that style because I feel like that style is so Stardom. You know, like Stardom
mm,
really was made on that style, and I hope like Leon and Natsuki Tayo, like you know, like stuff like that.
Mhm.
So like that
mm.
continuing to keep going is just great, and I think the colors being a part of Cosmic Angels and like being a constant. I've been a big fan of that. You know, Shimizu, you have Saki, and you have who's the other person? Shit.
What,
Um,
oh, in colors,
yes,
there's Rina
what's the name?
Mikura and there's
The one with
Yuko
the
Sakurai.
Sakurai. Yes, Yuko Sakurai. That's they've been great, and I think it's gonna be a very fun match.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big Shimizu fan. I'm a big Colors fan in general. Shimizu has been wrestling in Ice Ribbon a lot this year, as has her other Colors compatriots. She was also a Ice Ribbon tag champ earlier in this year. But yeah, this should be a fun matchup. I love it. It's just very fresh. Like Azumi versus
Yeah.
Hikari Shimizu is one of those. It's like I didn't really know I wanted it until they announced it, and now I'm like,
Mm.
okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So that's a lot of fun. Anything else? Anything else exciting worth watching on this show?
Oh yeah, just before we move on, just wanted to, so there's
Yeah, go ahead.
seeing a comment there, criticizing this another outsider, another outsider in this match, I guess you can call it. But you look at that high speed division, and you've got like Azumi, Natsupoi, who's occupied in tag stuff, and then I don't know Koguma, who okay, she's lower down the card. We've already seen that match, so like there's limited like wrestlers you'd say specifically in that division as a that's like their mainstay. So I think like getting a outsider like Shimizu is like the perfect way to go about it. Like I say, it's a fresh match, and like all the other challenges really have been done to death at this point. So yeah,
I would love for Hazuki to win this title soon. I think she's one who I want to see in a singles championship match on every pay-per-view. Quick super chat from SWG. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And then I'm going to put your comment here up as well. I like Misaki and Shimizu. Don't care for Nanai and don't like prominent splendor matches. Any one of those matches would be fine, but a card full of them feels incredibly underwhelming for Sumo Hall. Yeah, I can see the perspective there. A lot of people want just like if you're I see the perspective that if you're a Stardom fan,
unapologetically Stardom pay-per-view,
you want Stardom wrestlers in big time title matches at Sumo Hall, right? I get that perspective, and I can see being disappointed there. Personally, though, I'm just a great fan of all Joshi wrestling for the most part, and so I shouldn't say that. There's like some companies I really don't like, but at least I have like a cursory awareness of most companies, and so I'm very much looking forward to pretty much.
I think Stardom has such a Stardom's roster. I feel like I love how they bring outsiders. It keeps things from being stale. Tokyo Joshi Pro has a pretty small roster. A little like Stardom has a bigger roster, but it's still like small compared to most like companies. But like Tokyo Joshi Pro is like a small company for what its size, and it just feels always like very stale because like they run the same matches over and over again. And I feel like Stardom just doesn't do that since they have so many people. So I like Stardom having all these outsiders, and same way I like AEW when they have New Japan guys. I like when they did John Moxley and Satoshi Kojima in the big match at a pay-per-view, and they'll bring in Jun Akiyama on a pay-per-view, which it was the buy-in, but I feel like getting on an AEW pay-per-view is a big deal in the first place. So, I like it, but I understand.
I think this is a good way to put it for a lot of people, that it's like getting an AEW pay-per-view and it turns out to be AEW versus Impact or MLW. Again, I think a lot of wrestlers from Joshi Indies are a lot better than most wrestlers from Impact and MLW. So again, that doesn't really connect for me, but I do think for a lot of people that is how they're seeing things in this one. So sweet. All right. What else? What haven't we talked about yet, Jamie?
Yeah, so there's 3 other undercard.
Let's go kind of rapid fire on this one so we can get to some DragonGate.
Yeah. So we got Mina Shirakawa's back with Unagi Sayaka. Them two will be taking on Tekla and Mai Sakurai. Should just be a fun opening tag match. Nice to see Mina back. Unfortunate injury, but I think she's going to have a good 2023. We have a stars all stars trios match. So we have Mayu Iwatani, Hanan, and Momo Kogo taking on FWC and Saya Ida. I've seen a few people complain about this match. I think a lot of people wanted the trio of FWC and Mayu Iwatani to be in that artist title match. But we do have the Triangle Derby tournament coming up at the start of next year. So I guess
these are the trios for that. Just a little preview for that, right?
My Koguma impression. I thought it was pretty good.
Kuma.
And then other than that, there is a number 1 contenders match for the tag titles. We have Mirai and Amisure of God's Eye, Mai Hime, Maika and Himeka, Donna Del Mondo, and BMI 2000, Natsuko Tora and Ruoka.
That's such a funny name. That's so good. I hate Natsuko Tora. I think she's not good at all. But I love that. That comedy so good.
So yeah, definitely every match has meaning, stakes to it. It's a big time show for sure. Like I don't think you can deny the stakes around a lot of it, even if you're not a huge fan of some of the booking itself. We got a sticker from Isra. Thank you so much, Isra. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. Sweet. So yeah, that's Stardom. Murph has disappeared. Just as we were about to talk about Dragon Gate. That's too bad. Guess we'll have to skip it.
One
We'll have to
second.
talk Ice
Never
Ribbon.
mind. That's all,
Um,
folks.
Yeah, that's it for us. No, yeah, I'm looking forward to the show a ton. Is there? It's just like house show preview stuff until then, right? Is there anything really going on? Is there like a Korakuen in there?
There is a New Blood, I think,
New Blood
on
okay.
the
Yeah.
16th, I believe. They announced some
that
matches
sounds
for that today. Some people I haven't heard of. There's one from is it Best Body or Japan or something like that. I've never
Best
heard of
Buddy
this.
Japan.
It's something like that. I've never heard of this promotion.
I was like, I know a lot about Joshi, but
Yeah.
I'm about to channel my inner Manny for my Dragon Gate segment.
let's see, what is
Oh,
he doing here?
hold
Oh my
on.
god.
Talk some Dragon Gate.
Oh, okay. All right, let's talk some Dragon Gate, Murph. It was
This
a
is really
Korakuen Hall
uncomfortable.
show
One
today.
second, one second.
All right, fair enough. Murph, it was a Korakuen Hall show today.
It was the Dragon Gate ran their December Korakuen, which is usually their biggest Korakuen of the year, and boy, what it was! You know, we don't have Doi darts anymore, which is a very sad
that
thing.
sucks.
You know? We don't have Doi darts anymore, which really just isn't the same. But we have. Well, Doi's like barely a part of the promotion at this point.
Yeah, but who cares? Just call it darts. Just do your thing.
Yeah, it sucks. 2 straight years without Doi darts, but that's against the point, you know. So I think when they're done with COVID, because they can't go Bachiro, like they can't do any of the shit, because like right now, so no Doi darts, but we had a very good Korakuen. You know, I'm gonna get to the main event, which I thought was one of the best matches in Japan of the year.
Well, let's just start with that main event, because I think that's let's start there.
Boy, it was the Yuki Yoshioka defending his I believe his fourth title defense against Masaki Mochizuki. He was able to win. First, Masaki Mochizuki came out as classic Mochi. He was not M3K Mochi. He was wearing, coming out to his normal music. And, he was ready. This was his first Dreamgate shot in, I believe, 3 years, and possibly his last Dreamgate shot. So, he really had to make this one a big one. And Yuki Yoshioka was able to win in 26 minutes and 16 seconds with the frog splash, I believe. And boy, this match was tremendous. Like Parker, what are your thoughts on this match?
I thought this was maybe the best Dragon Gate match of the year. I thought this match was awesome. It was really, really good. One of my biggest issues with Dragon Gate this year has been, in my opinion, their lack of top tier matches. Like big time, like they've had lots of really good stuff, but like top tier match of the year contender matches. And I think a lot of that is due to like crowd investment and just the pandemic, of course, and clap crowds make things difficult, right? It's why I wasn't as high on that Kobe World Tag title match that everybody loved. However, man, the crowd was hot for this one, especially at the end. They loved Mochizuki firing up at the end, and Yoshioka was so desperate to put him away, but he just couldn't until the very end. I thought this match was awesome. This match was so good. Yet another just incredible performance from Mochizuki, who is literally I think he is the most like timeless and ageless wrestler of all time.
Oh yeah,
he wrestles the exact same he wrestled 25 years ago.
Outside of Okada and Tanahashi, I think that Masaki Mochizuki is the best big match wrestler one of the best big match wrestlers in the world. The guy is just unreal when the lights are on. I mean, he had that timeless match. Like all of his he hasn't had a Dreamgate match across his career under 4 stars. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a Masaki Mochizuki Dreamgate match under 4 stars. The guy is unreal, and he really needed to get one more, and he got one more. And Yuki Yoshioka got his win. This is maybe the biggest win of Yoshioka's career, because like going 26 minutes with Masaki Mochizuki in Tokyo, which is where Mochizuki is from and the most popular, that's a big deal. And Yoshioka could hold this belt till Kobe World. I think I think Yoshioka could go through this roster until Kobe World of next year, when Takuma Fujiwara comes back. That is my prediction right now. I think Yuki Yoshioka will run the table.
Wow. That's saying something. He's already run the gauntlet, right? He beat, of course, Shuji Kondo and Kota Minoura at Final
And
Gate.
Eita.
Subsequently, Eita, Yamato, and now Mochizuki. I mean,
And,
that's like, and now, I mean, that's 3 big time opponents.
big stars. And this is a kid that was under a mask a year ago. He was under a pervert mask a year ago, and now he came in as Daya's sidekick, and through hard work, other guys have been given a push, and have been like put in his place. Yoshioka just worked into this place. It's pure hard work, and Yoshioka is the top star of Dragon Gate now and could be for years and years to come. So Yuki Yoshioka is that guy. Big fan.
There's a dog freaking out outside my apartment right now. I wonder if you guys can hear it.
Faintly, it's not really bothering me. And
right, fair enough.
the news after this match is he was given a challenge. One of the young boys was sent out from the back with a box. And what could be in this box was a note and a gold rose, which only means that Mr. Ben K, personally the guy with the most momentum in the company, this like the hottest push in the company, is challenging at Final Gate on Christmas. And Final Gate, obviously, the reasons we're about to get to, is going to be one of the biggest Dragon Gate shows of the year. But I mean, Ben K was a pin eater a couple of months ago, and now Ben K is going to main event one of the biggest shows of the year because Ben K has found a personality. It's unreal. But Ben K is now become the top heel of Dragon Gate, and it's going to be very, very interesting how Ben K versus Yuki Yoshioka will be.
It's weird that he made it work with Minorita and as the guy in gold class more than Minoura himself did, right? Like it's just odd.
Ben K was given a Minoura like push, and it really it turned out like Minoura. It was a little too early. It was too early for Ben K to be in the spotlight, and now Ben K is where he's supposed to be as Minoura. So I feel Minoura is going to originally get to this, but Ben K's on fire, and I'm very excited for this match.
I'm too. I'm really looking forward to seeing this version of Ben K in a big time singles match. Just something we haven't seen yet, right? So super exciting. Like one thing you can say is every person Yoshioka's defended against so far, we've seen that version of them for a long time, right? Yamato's not changed in a while. Eita's pretty much wrestled the same way forever, right? Even guys like Minoura and Shuji Kondo, like Shuji Kondo's wrestled the same way for 15 years. Minoura hasn't really wrestled any different since being in Masquerade, essentially. So to finally get like an actual fresh, like not fresh as in first time, but fresh as in, okay, we haven't seen this character in this setting before. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think it should be great. Hopefully, I just hope the crowd lives up to it. There's cheering, right, at Final Gate? Or am I mistaken on that?
Let me check on that.
Yeah, you look that up because I think there is, but I could be wrong there. And I really hope that Ben K's that Ben K's heat right now translates into an exciting match atmosphere. Jamie, were you able to watch this show or match today?
I haven't yet. No, I've seen clips and stuff from the show, and of course I saw the big news, which we'll get to.
Big news.
I did see one clip. I saw a few clips of. I can't remember the guys. I don't watch a ton
Kaito
of
Nagano, the young lion.
Yeah, he's been wrestling for like 3 months or something. He looks incredible.
Well, let's just talk about him real quick. I mean, there's not all that much to say. It's just that he's incredible. He's been wrestling for like 3 months, and
it's the best. It's the best in the dojo in the world. I'm like, New Japan's great. I'm not gonna talk about them. I'm gonna talk about how Dragon Gate is not waiting 2 years to put people in to give people moves. Dragon Gate in New Japan. In New Japan, you can only do a Boston Crab. Wow, big deal. You can do a Boston Crab.
Just to put into perspective, so Shota Umino is finally becoming a full member of the roster, starting at Wrestle Kingdom, right? in New Japan. Okay, to put that in perspective, when he debuted, Jay White was in Ring of Honor.
In the
That's how
elite.
long. That's how
Yeah.
long it's been since Shota Umino debuted. All right, it's too long. I know you like can't argue with it because the results kind of speak for themselves. But like, bro, come on! Everybody knew Shota Umino was ready. Everybody knows Yuya Uemura is ready. You know what I'm saying?
Except you have
Everybody
him
knew.
in Impact Wrestling doing like, is he gonna get murdered next?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, what? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand. So yeah, I'm ready for. But no, you can't
Kaito
argue with the DG Dojo
Kaito
system.
Nagano is the second actually the first member of this year's class, if I'm not mistaken. And he's
They
gonna be
have two.
really good.
They have two more coming out,
We have
right?
Yoshiki Kato who debuted today in the opener, I believe. Not the opener, in the first couple matches. This is his debut, and then Takuma Nishikawa, who is currently in Mexico. He's 6'3", I believe.
Oh, really?
So he's like 6'2" or 6'3". So it's going
Wow,
to be
that's
real interesting. He's currently teaming with Takuma and
Yeah,
and Estrella.
Estrella.
They're in Mexico, but he's been tearing up IWRG in wrestled his first match in IWRG. So they decided to keep him there because he's working like a big guy. So he's going to be a big deal when he comes back.
All right. So that was the main event. Let's talk about the other big news coming
So
out of
the
this
semi-main
show.
event was the team of Yamato, Dragon Kid, Takashi Yoshida, and Problem Dragon versus Shun Skywalker, Kai, BB Hulk, and Hyo. This match was nothing, so don't even really. I mean, you can watch it,
I
but
agree.
it's not really a big deal. The finish was, Kai losing to Takashi Yoshida, presumably to set up a open the Triangle Gate Championship match. And the big news was Yamato was attacked by Z-Brats after the match. And we heard a song that we haven't heard in a long time. We heard Legend Falconry. And Legend Falconry is the theme of Dragon Gate legend Shingo Takagi. And I thought Jay was going to have an aneurysm because, Shingo comes to Korakuen sometimes. Shingo comes to Dragon Gate Korakuen sometimes. So I'm pretty sure he saw it. Jay probably saw Shingo and said, wow, like he's just come to watch. But no one expected that music to hit because that music hasn't been heard since 2018. So Shingo came out. Yamato their careers have been linked, through tagging and
yeah.
through being a team. And the match will be at Final Gate. And what Shingo said is he's 40 and he's single, so he has nothing to do on Christmas. So he might as well get out of the house. So at Final Gate 2022, which I do not believe has cheering, on Christmas at the Fukuoka Kokusai Center will be Shingo Takagi of New Japan Pro Wrestling teaming with BB Hulk against Maruko Kikuta and Yamato, which is a very weird match stylistically, but it should be tremendous just to see Shingo back in that environment. Hopefully he puts a singlet on. It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah. I bet he does. I bet he does.
If he puts a
I'm just
singlet
looking
on, I will be
forward to.
very happy.
I'm just looking forward to Shingo and Yamato interacting. Like
In Hulk,
it's just
like Hulk is going to be
of
so
course,
much better.
of course,
So it's like,
Hulk. But yeah, I mean, he's so like washed that it doesn't matter.
but it just Hulk and Shingo is just together. That's
it's classic.
pretty interesting. That's their careers have been linked, and Shingo in Dragon Gate is just there's nothing better. Like Shingo is Dragon Gate is Shingo, and Shingo has taken that Dragon Gate style to New Japan, and it has been tremendous. But Shingo and Dragon Gate is home, so very, very, very excited for that. Any thoughts on that, Jamie?
Yeah, it's a huge return. He's one of the biggest names in that Dragon Gate roster whilst he was there, and then he's come to New Japan. Went right through the junior roster, had like incredible matches with Ospreay, and then graduated up to that heavyweight division, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Arguably one of the, he is absolutely one of the best wrestlers in the world. Maybe one of the wrestlers of the year last year. And yeah, I hope it brings a lot of eyes to this show on the 25th. I've said before, I need to watch more more DragonGate. You know, you're a big advocate, Murph.
I need to
I'm
watch
well
more
aware of
Stardom,
how.
so we have that in
Yeah,
common. So
yeah,
I'll watch more Stardom when you watch more Dragon Gate.
yeah. You know, I'm well aware of how great the wrestling is there in DragonGate. I just need to, you know, get around to it. But yeah,
Of course.
it's big.
And then just going down the card, we had we had the gold class trio of Kota Minoru, Benkei, and Minorita facing Naruki Doi, who brought his King of DDT 6-man title with him, and he teamed with Shuji Kondo and Eita, who Eita's being very weird right now, which means he's probably plotting something for the new year. But you know, Doi was able to get the pin over Minorita, which Doi was Minorita's partner, until a couple months ago. So that was a weird dynamic. Nothing else was really big on the show, other than the Yoshiki Kato debut and Kaito Nagano, just being really good as a rookie. Let me think what else has happened. They had a Okinawa. They had a Sapporo triple shot, and first Hulk and Kai won the belts on the first day, and then on the third day, KZ and Big Boss Shimizu beat Hulk and Kai. So KZ and Big Boss Shimizu are currently the the Twin Gate champions. I didn't know if you knew that, Parker.
Big Boss Shimizu and KZ are currently the Twin Gate champions.
Yes.
Yes, I did know that. I watched the match that they won it in.
I didn't know you watched I didn't know you watched the triple shot. I didn't know you watched any of the triple shot.
Yeah.
They wrestled on if you're ever bored, Dragon Gate did an Okinawa show where there was a chandelier over the ring. So if you want to see a laugh, the chandelier over the ring match was very, very funny. The whole show.
So exciting stuff for Final Gate. We'll get that full card pretty soon here. And yeah,
I'm checking. It should be out any day now. So
I was gonna say it won't be out because the show was today. It won't be out yet, but in the next couple days it'll be out for sure. We'll like I said, Final Gate will be the first thing we talk about when we're going over New Year's festivities for Japanese professional wrestling. So
and Dragon Gate has one more Corkin next week before the new year. So
I bet there's lots of stories. I wonder if there will be a chain, like a turn or something. All right, I'm going to quickly talk about. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, Masquerade. There's always a very big thing happening on the 2nd December because that's where Masquerade was actually coined, and also the generational split started to crack the year before that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, tomorrow, everybody. I don't know if you knew this. We have the final night of All Japan's World Tag League, Real World Tag League block action, and it's
is there a fake World Tag League?
Yeah, it's called New Japan's. They're the fake World Tag League, and we're the real World Tag League. Yeah. So
we're not even talking about New Japan's shitty tag league. I don't really care.
No, it's boring. Who cares? I've given up on trying to watch it. I'm like, nope, not for me.
I've touched the junior one a little bit. Do not care about the heavyweights. Do not care.
So there is some exciting stuff going on this show, because not only is it the final night of tag action, but it is also the Junior Battle of Glory finals, and a bit of a surprising final matchup, and then what I'm thinking will be a surprising winner, which is Atsuki Aoyagi versus Dan Tamura in the finals.
Whoa, Dan!
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Big fan of Dan. Was the heartbeat of All Japan during the pandemic. So
I know exactly why you like him and why you know who he was. It was because he had a really good challenge against Susumu for that junior title. And you probably saw him in that.
And I remember he just banged on the ring the entire time during the pandemic.
Yes, so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was just going crazy, like, we're gonna
Dan. And a Japanese guy named Dan is just funny,
Yeah, Dan. So that's exciting. I think Dan Tamura might win. So that'd be pretty cool. And then, of course, he would subsequently challenge Atsuki again for that title. We got a 4-way match for the All Asia Tag titles. It's like... It's so bad.
The shittiest belt in sports.
It's like if you're an All Japan fan, you like kind of love these guys, but it's also like
it's like lovable loser
shitters on the roster. It is Yusuke Kodama
Yoshitatsu.
And it's Yusuke Kodama. Yeah, Yoshitatsu's in the match. It's Yusuke Kodama and Masao Hanabata, who is just Seigo Tachibana doing a weird gimmick. And it's a 4-way tag match. So they are being challenged by Yoshitatsu and Tajiri, Takao Omori and Masao Inoue, and
Oh, that's my team.
And Black Mensure and ATM, who is Carbel Ito, who is an old man who is a sponsor for All Japan and is like a mark for himself, and then he wrestles.
That sounds so fucking bad. I feel like Get
awesome.
Wild. I'm gonna watch it just to hear Get Wild. I feel like is this a Korakuen?
Yeah, it's a Korakuen.
That's
so then our three so unfortunately no Shotaro Ashino anymore, so that's not going to be a tag league match anymore, but the 3 tag league matches are Kento Miyahara and Takuya Nomura against the Saito brothers, Suwama and Masayuki Kono against Yuji Nagata and Yuma Anzai.
That sounds great.
And yes, and I agree. And Jake Lee and Yuma Aoyagi against Koji Doi and Kuma Arashi. So the way I think this is playing out, I think if I know my standings correctly, that if Jake Lee and Yuma Aoyagi win and the Suwama Voodoo Murders team loses, then it is Jake Lee in the then Jake's team makes it into the finals. Then I think if Kento and Takuya win, they're also in the finals. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And that's what I think it's going to be. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. I also think that we might get Yuji Nagata pinning Suwama in this match. And I think that might set up a singles match at Korakuen next year in their 2-shot at Korakuen for the early January shows, which are always 2 really important shows on All Japan's schedule. So yeah, that's just kind of what we got going on here. And I think a Kento Miyahara Takuya Nomura finals against Jake Lee and Yuma Aoyagi would be absolutely fantastic.
There's a weak link, it'll be good.
Get out of here. In the meantime, Regal. Professor P, I apologize for my tardiness today. I'm present. Class is in session. How's my favorite Trump supporter Murphy Murph doing? Mr. Ogawa looking smart in those glasses. Papa H are coming home. Regal, I'm so glad you get to live your truth. I'm very proud of you. I'm glad that Triple H is paying you enough that you can afford $10 super chats for Dumb Guy Live. I greatly appreciate it. And you just keep doing you, man. You're doing great. You're doing great over there. All right. Yeah, you know what, guys? We've kind of gotten through it. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on this week?
I've pulled up that New Blood card. There's a few interesting names on there. I've worked out who is Best Body Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, Best Body Japan. That's where like Rising Hayato started, and it's where
all right.
Who's the pheromones guy who is new-ish?
Koji Takeda.
Yeah, he's from Best Body as well.
Shining Ball.
Yeah, Shining Ball.
Yeah. So it's Sanai Takabayashi from Best Body Japan.
No idea who that, yeah. Well, so weird. So weird.
What a match. Miyu Amasaki's back on the card. She frequents these New Blood shows. She'll be taking on Miran from Diana.
Miran is a child. She's like 12 years old. So that's weird. But whatever.
Yeah. We've got Waka Tsukiyama and Tam Nakano taking on Ram Kaicho and Maika Ozaki. That should be.
Oh, Maika Ozaki's on the show? Yo, they got an ice ribbon stable on the show. Yeah. That's Rebel Enemy. That's Maya Yukihi's in that too. Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, Rebel Enemy have made. They've been accompanying Ram Kaicho for a few of their entrances in these Stardom shows, so it's nice to finally get them involved.
Maika Ozaki's good. She's a good wrestler. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. We have a God's Eye versus Stars trios match. Mirai, Tomoka Inaba, and Nanami. And Nanami's first match as a fully fledged member of God's Eye. And they'll be taking on Hanan Saida and Momo Kogo, all permanent members of that Stardom roster. We've got Starlight Kid and Karma. We discussed before Haruka Umasaki and alter ego, evil Haruka Umasaki. Taking on Mai Sakurai and Tekla. So that should be a fun one. And Amisore defending the Future of Stardom Championship against Ruaka, and what I believe is Amisore's first title defense since she won that
Yeah, I think
match
so.
against Hanan. And then the last match, which is described as a passion injection match. We have Parker, your favorite Stardom wrestler, Lady C, taking on Nanae Takahashi. So
That's
yeah,
crazy. Lady C's gonna
there's
get
your
the
new book
shit kicked
card.
out of her. Like she might die in that match.
Yeah.
That's rough. Nanai's going to kill her dead for real. Wow.
I'd
Okay.
like to.
Well,
We have time, so I was looking through Cage Match and I found a Japanese promotion I've never heard of, but I want to know if Parker's heard of it.
okay.
You heard of Shi-En?
Yeah, Shien.
Fucking Christ.
It's like
You've actually heard of-
SHI-EN, right?
Yes, it's like, so you know who Bomber Okuno is?
I don't know about that. GN cage match.
Can you name anyone on the Shi-En card?
Let me
Like,
see here. I'm
Japanese-
just gonna I'm gonna go to their just like shows and see if I recognize anybody. Let's see this shit. Shien.
Tetsuya Goto. That feels like
Oh yeah, wasn't he a DDT guy? at one
no, he's not a
point?
DD. I know of Tetsuya Goto.
Where is he? Or 01? Where have I seen his name
Dude,
before?
this dude has wrestled in fucking shitters. Oh my god,
Yeah,
Dove
what
Pro.
the hell? It's like a who's who of the shittiest wrestling promotions in Japan.
Dove
I'm
Pro.
looking through their roster. This Shein roster on Wikipedia. They have a sporadic character called Masked Police 24. I don't know what's going on in that promotion.
I saw Shi-En on Twitter. I saw someone like talk about Shi-En before, but I didn't know it was like an actual promotion.
They've been running shows since 2010. Who's buying these? Who's going
That's
to
also
this?
like I saw Kaliga Pro runs like so many shows. I've never heard of like anybody tweeting about Kaliga Pro.
They did when they started, because it was like weird and it was like
Didn't they have like a pervert or like something?
Yeah,
involved,
they had Dylan. Was it Dylan James? Is that who? Do you remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember.
Let me see. I'm gonna look at the
That's
all-time
Kashima.
roster.
Kashima was showing up at Kaliga Pro all the time, and then he just
Yeah.
stopped.
They had a lot of people showing up. Oh, Jun Masaoka, is he Freedoms?
I know him. I know Jun Masaoka.
Yeah. So he's wrestled for Shien before.
That sounds like a place Daisuke Hanaoka has been.
Orca
Secret
Uto.
base guys? Are there secret base guys there?
Secret base, man. I don't know. This is getting a bit too much.
I just know
for me.
secret base because they're Torimon guys. Well,
Bro,
I think we've really talked about.
Cerberus Matsumoto is a cool name.
I think we've gotten to that time. To be honest with you, I think we've
so?
gotten to that time.
Okay. You don't
I
want
think
to
it's
do
time.
Do you want to have a passion injection match?
I don't know what that is.
Me versus Murph. I reckon I'd kick his ass.
What's passion injection?
That was that Nanai Takahashi Lady C match.
Yeah.
Murph, you think it's time?
It's time for the beast.
I
week.
gotta find it. I gotta find it.
Beast.
Yeah, say it. Keep saying it. Boom!
Of the week.
Beast.
Oh, wrong.
Yeah.
I think we're giving pitches live on air.
Really,
I
hold
think
on, Murph. I'm gonna cut you off real quick. I want to take some time to quickly analyze this and what do we think is what's going on here. Okay, so this was Manny's Hooper of the Week image from today or from yesterday.
Beast of the Week, so much better than Hooper of the Week.
Well, so can we just kind of parse this really quick? Because okay, I see the Good Brothers. I see a giant. Is Doc Gallows supposed to be the sun? And everything's burning. And there's Carl
Doc
Anderson
Gallows beating up Jesus.
Carl Anderson beating up Jesus. And then there's the Princess AJ saying, "Save me, Good Brothers," as Gallows is saying, "AJ." There also appears to be
Is that Jesus shooting a hoop? Is that Jesus shooting a hoop?
That is Jesus playing basketball down there. And is that Optimus Prime? Or like
is it like a Gundam thing?
That's a Gundam.
Or is it a Gundam? See, I don't know shit about that because I'm a grown man. But
I just saw Scarecrow's comment. I don't know what a Gundam is. Gundam
Yeah,
style.
I don't know.
Is this what we're missing on this podcast? Is it these cocaine graphics?
I think we should have Scarecrow on. Scarecrow would be a
I
good
think we
guest.
should have. Scarecrow would be a good job. Okay, anyway,
What I
I
was
just
about
wanted
to
to
say
parse
is-
that.
You brought up the
Yeah.
draft day. I think we should do, just because, like, you know, we're a Japanese wrestling podcast mostly. I think an American wrestling draft, like, down the line. I think that'd be a lot
That'd
of
be
fun.
cool. That'd be
For
cool.
the new year.
I think I also think it'd be fun to take our promotions that we made and make like a card out of them.
That'd
Yeah.
be sweet.
Yeah.
Mm.
We, like, each make our own card and we present them.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I think
Beast
it'd
of
be
the
good.
Week time.
Beast of
Jamie.
the week.
Beast of the week. My beast of the week is going to be from a card that we haven't really talked about it on this podcast. I briefly mentioned that you wrestled on it, not you, Murph, but you, the wrestler.
Oh, yo.
But for anyone that's joined late on, Murph made a hilarious joke. You should have seen it. It was incredible. But in the main event of this, it was a Sendai Girls pay-per-view in Osaka, I believe. We had Asuka / Veni taking on Chihiro Hashimoto in a world title match for that Sendai Girls World Championship. Chihiro Hashimoto has been the Sendai Girls World Champion for 1,148 days, I think. Obviously that's like during the pandemic and stuff, so that reign's kind of inflated. But anyway, I don't know if either of you've seen this match. I thought it was incredible. We have a new
but
Sendai Girls World Champion, and it is Asuka. And yeah, I think that these two have wrestled before, and it was incredible. But I think this match topped it. So yeah, my beast of the week is the new Sendai Girls World Champion, Veni / Asuka.
awesome. I like it. Sweet. Murph, I might steal your thunder here. Because I did not watch much wrestling this past week, being busy with stuff. But easily, without a doubt, the best match I saw all week was Yoshioka and Mochizuki, and like Mochizuki was just so incredible in the match. Like he's like the textbook definition of a beast, someone you can just consistently rely on to just be incredible.
52-year-old Iron Man.
Yeah, he's wrestled like 4,000 career matches, and he's like as good.
He's
as
wrestled
ever.
the most matches in anyone in Korakuen Hall.
Yeah, he's just unbelievable, and he's still doing it like to the best of his ability. So, it's got to be Mochi for me this week.
Okay, really put the pressure on. There we go. This person was also my Russell Pierce Wrestler of the Week for last week. It's the man who needed to have a legacy game. A man who needed to go into Game 4 with the biggest match of his career. And that man is Matt Jackson. So Matt Jackson is my Beast of the Week going into Game 4, where they're actually gaining ratings. You know, the ratings are all fucked up. Like, they're actually gaining ratings. So, you know, that's just my hunch, though. So, Matt Jackson legacy game. Give me Matt Jackson, Beast of the Week.
I love it.
Asuka Veni, Masaki Mochizuki, and Matt Jackson. I say this and I make him do it, but there's going to be a tweet out, and you're going to tell us who your favorite is.
Mhm.
And I think
It's gonna be
that
great.
is where we leave you.
right.
Next week.
All right, guys. Next week, what did I say we were going to do next week? I don't even remember what I say sometimes.
Wait. What are we going to do next week? Let me get my notes out. I love doing like the Dave.
Next week we're going to talk about 2023 predictions. We're going to talk about what's that?
Prediction show.
Yeah, prediction show. Yeah, prediction show.
Can we have fans submit? Can we do a Dave like the Brian and Vinny prediction show?
Mailbag, and I rustle papers
Yeah.
the whole time. No, we're going to, as I look for the G1 standings. No, we're going to. If you want to ask questions about our predictions, or if you want to input, you gotta give us a motherfucking super chat. So that's what you'll have to do.
That's true. Give us a
Yeah,
super chat.
so, but yeah, no, we're going to go over predictions for 2023. We're going to talk about what we think is going to happen in the world of Japanese professional wrestling, and I'm very much looking forward to that because I think where we are right now for a lot of promotions would have been really difficult to predict at the start of this year. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Shingo's in
All right.
DragonGate. Would not
Shingo's
have
in
understood- would,
DragonGate. Mhm.
would not have guessed that. You know,
Shinsuke Nakamura's in Noah.
Darby the same week as Darby Allin. I feel like
Darby
that's
Allin. Wrestling is freaking crazy. Okay.
that's like
All
freaking
right.
crazy.
So that we're gonna close it out right there. I would like all of you to, if you're not, please follow that account with my painted nails.
Follow Jamie
please
Ross.
follow
What's
that
your
account.
Jamie Ross? What's your at? We'll just say
Jamie
that.
Ross WP.
You don't have to follow Jamie. That's fine.
And you follow
just
at Murph Burner.
Just follow the guy who does all the work, who puts the shows together. All right,
That's
you can follow
ridiculous.
me. Okay. Yes, Kyle, we would love 2023 hot takes as long as you pay us money to say them. So if you want to like get them all out there, give us like a big old super chat, and we'll read them all.
Get your
All
money
right.
up, not your funny up.
Yeah, just like that. Okay, guys, I think that's gonna close it out. Oh, he's done it. Look, I can point that too. You can
Follow that one.
go ahead and follow people. All right. With that, guys, I think we're going to close it out today. I appreciate everybody who listened. I appreciated the super chats as always, the conversation that we had. It's always so much fun. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. We will see them this time next week on Tuesday on Dumb Guy Live. Catch you later, everybody.